Hi, this is Derek Morgan. In this video, we're going to take a look at projects for mentors. So what you can do to access projects is simply scroll down the left-hand menu, click on projects, and basically this will take you to the project dashboard overview. Okay, so you'll see projects that are not started, projects that you're actively involved in or in progress, and any projects that have been put on hold, cancelled, or completed. Up the top here, you have a new project functionality, an archived projects, and activity summary and reports. So I won't go through all of these individually. We'll do those in separate videos. What I really want to do is focus on an overview of projects at the moment, or in this video. So to start a new project is really straightforward. You click new project, you give the project a name and a description. You can automatically start this as in progress, or if it's a project that you're setting up but you don't want to start just yet, you can give it a future start date and then an estimated due date. And projects is something that you would use where you've got an ongoing process with a lot of moving parts and potentially multiple mentors collaborating with you around a specific process. Then you would use projects to invite all of your different mentors into that project, so you've got a common area that you can collaborate and everybody can communicate and knows what's going on. So I'll cover off on that. So it's a really simple three-step process. I'm not going to take you through all three steps. Once you've put in the basic details, you click next. You can invite team members to the project right from the start, or you can just leave it yourself and add team members later, and I'll show you how to do that. And then as part of the project setup process, you can apply a workflow, or you can apply or create activities as part of the setup process. That's all pretty straightforward. So anything up in the top is a clickable link. So if we want to get back to projects, just click on that. We're going to have a look at an existing project or a sample project. Okay, so what we're seeing here is a project that a mentee has created, and they've obviously invited this profile as a mentor into this project. So we've got a basic dashboard up here. These icons are clickable, will take you into a different area. Project overview, let's click on that and work our way down. Okay, so what you've got is Gantt charting capability here, where you've got activities that are interdependent. What you'll start to see is the flow of activities, how they link into each other, and the allocated time frames of when they're starting and finishing and if they're overlapping. So you've got some really powerful sort of Gantt charting capability going on here. You can look at the work in progress for this week. So what are things that are going on that are due this week or overdue? And you can also get a consolidated view of activities. This is really useful where you've got a complex process going on with lots of activities. So you can just get a bigger view of more activities and track progress and start to filter things. Okie doke. So let's go back to the sample project and continue with our look at our board view. So we could have clicked on board view to get back to here, or we can click on the project name to get back to here. So we've got a project start date, a project completion date. We've got a tracking bar here. The tracking bar will be based on the number of activities within the project and the number of activities that are fully complete. Okay, so in this example, we've got 2 activities, neither of them have been completed. Okay, so if we went and completed one, we'd have a 50% progress. It's pretty obvious. So the mentee has created the project, so they control the project. So you're sitting here as a mentor within the project, and you go, oh, look, I want to bring another mentor into here or another team member in. You can't do it because you didn't create the project. You can simply message the mentee and ask them to add them and explain why. Likewise, you can't edit the core project because you're not the project creator. Okay, so we come down here, project bulletins. Think of it like a little Twitter feed for messages within what's going on in the project, back to the project team. And the what's happening feed is just a sequence of activities and date timeline of what's going on within things that are occurring within the project. So if somebody's completing an activity, adding a document, creating a note, there'll be a quick feed in here that you can flick through and go, oh yeah, okay, I want to have a look at that. Click on the link. All these blue hyperlinks will take you directly to the resource. Right, so now we're scrolling down here and we can see the activities window here. Now we can add an individual activity. So it will bring up a pop-up when we click on activity, and we can give the activity a name. If it relates to a predecessor, we can link into here. This is who created it, so it's created by me. We can determine what the activity or function is that needs to be done, give it a subject description. We can assign it to another team member, project team member, or assign it to ourselves. And then is it new? Is it in progress? Is it on hold? Is it completed, cancelled? Okay, so you might have an activity that you've done and you're just coming in a record of it and just marking it immediately as complete. If it's in progress, you can dictate whereabouts you are in the process and give it a priority, start date, due date, and click save, and then you can mark that as complete. If you got down to here and go, yep, look, I've completed it, you can mark as complete. Okay, so let's cancel that. So when you're setting up a project, if the project relates to a workflow that's already been created and we want to import all the tasks in that workflow, we might come in here and go, okay, I want to apply a workflow. So I'm going to go into the workflow gallery and I'm going to, okay, I want that workflow. I'm going to apply it to this project, and that will import the workflow. So now you can see the new activities in the workflow, and we can go in and schedule a date. So click on there and schedule a start date. We can schedule an end date, and we can determine a reminder date. Okie doke. And we can assign that to an individual. Okay, so if there was 10 steps in here, we could go through and go, okay, which team member's doing what, what's due by when, and bang. As soon as we then have done that process, the individuals will be updated on, as soon as we click apply, that will then apply that workflow and all that information, and the team members will be notified that they've been allocated activities, and the dates and etc will start to show up in their calendar, etc. So we're just going to cancel that for the moment, and you can see that we still only have our 2 activities. Had I have applied that workflow, the other 2 activities would have been brought into here. Okie doke. So notes, we can add a new note. This is where you would, rather than use a Twitter feed, which is just really like a quick brief update, here you would put something that's a more complex piece of information into here, and that way it becomes searchable. So headlines become really important here, but you can search your notes. Just makes it easier than using the bulletin post up there. Okay, so attachments, you can click on attachment. You can go and find the file in a drive. Okay, if you're operating on a mobile app, for example, it will give you the option to reference your photos or take a photo. So, if you want to do a quick update in a certain situation and you just want to snap a screenshot or snap an image or whatever, you could take that, and that image would be automatically imported into the attachments. Okay, so agenda is really what's going on today, tomorrow, etc. You can click on here and flick through to a particular date. Just gives you an idea of what's due and those sorts of things. Okay, so you can add an agenda item. Okay, so if you just want to put in an event, so say you want to create a project group meeting, you might throw it in here as an event or a reminder or a follow-up. Okay, rightio. So that's a quick overview of projects. Hope you found that useful. Thanks.